live. Hello, we're on there. We're live. I always do that every week. That kind of, oh, we're live. Because it should count down. It should say 3, 2, 1, you'd know. But it doesn't. Thank you, Google. Anyway, welcome to the AA Social Media Hangout Show with me, Ola Agbenmoni, and my A this week is Kevin. Say hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. Kevin is the other half of the arrows. He's not the best.
You'll have the fantastic Sarah back next week.
Yeah! I can't do
Don't be so happy. I'm going to cut you off. Where's the off button?
You can't. It's my hangout. I'm in charge.
Hang on, I'll just ring Google up. Yeah. No.
Anyway, no, Kevin's been with us for the last 3 weeks because Sarah's been doing other stuff, but he's a great co-host. But as you can see, I'm sitting next to someone. This is not a mirror. I know we look alike. It's not a mirror. It's my friend Anita. Yeah, we look better. She's a photographer. She's going to do the lighting. So we're going to have good lighting in the previous life. So my friend Anita is here in her capacity as the sister, not the sister, the sister in the Raw, because she runs a company called Sister in the Raw, which is all about raw soul food, and we're going to tell you all about that. But the reason why she's here, because for all you anti-social media people, and Anita was one of them. She was. She still is. She still is. I said to her, come on a Google Hangout. She said, what's that? But she's here. But what she has done is she's effectively used Facebook to build up a really successful Facebook fan page, with over 35,000 followers, and she didn't pay Facebook a single red cent to advertise to get any of them. They're all real people. They're all regularly engaged with her. So we're going to talk about how you, as a small business, can actually use social media, use Facebook specifically to kind of really get the same kind of results that Anita has. So yeah, that's the show for today. Kevin.
Yeah.
Since Anita's sitting next to me, you could interview her, because then the camera will shift. Other than that, it'd just be me and her, because we're in the same screen.
I feel like I've got double vision going on here. It's really weird having two of you on the same screen.
We've both got short hair. We're both black.
Right. Okay, Anita, why don't you just give us a little bit more of an overview about your business first? You know, where you're from, where you started, how you got into this, and how your first journey online. That would be quite cool.
Okay. Well, as Ola said, my name's Anita, Baka Sister in the Raw. I am a raw food teacher and healthy lifestyle coach. So raw food, when people hear that, they think, oh, what's that? It's basically what it's about. It's about getting optimum nutrition, eating food that hasn't been cooked, which feeds your body at a cellular level so that you become really, really healthy. That's basically what it's about. And what I teach people to do is how to use food raw so it's delicious and palatable, and helps you to kind of like shift from eating cooked food into a raw food lifestyle. It's holistic, which means that it addresses your entire kind of health needs in terms of your physiology, your body, plus, you know, the way we think through the approach and everything. I got into it about, I think, 8 years ago now for health reasons. I had very, very high blood pressure. That was, my GP wanted me to go on medication and I didn't want to, because I know about the long-term effects of medication. So I went off to explore other avenues. And I accidentally, and although I don't believe things happen by accident, came across a raw food mastery course, which was 8 weeks long. And I signed up for it. I just knew that it was something I needed to do. And I signed up for it, and it changed my life, basically. I got my blood pressure under control. My GP couldn't believe it. Not just through raw food, but taking out a lot of unhealthy foods out of my diet, and also exercising and practicing positive thinking and all the other things that go with it. I first came across Facebook through my children, through my son particularly, who was then in his late teens, and they kind of like showed me this thing called Facebook, and we talked about it, and I wasn't interested. And then they kind of were trying to encourage me, both my son and my daughter.
Isn't that amazing? Someone's children tried to get them on Facebook. Most people's children try to get them off Facebook.
Yes, yeah, we know.
So I did my own page, my own personal page, and then a while later, I decided to set up a page for Sister in the Raw, and I did it. I just set it up, and it sort of lay dormant for about a year. I didn't put very much on it. It was just text posts, writing posts, and it just sat there with about, I don't know, 30-something people, fans on it for ages. And then one day, maybe a year later, I sort of had a little mini breakthrough in my understanding of how Facebook works. So I I contacted all my friends on Facebook, which weren't that many at that time, and said, "Oh, can you like my page?" Because all the functionality on Facebook has changed since then anyway. And some of them did, to my surprise. So then I think it went up to 70, and it stood at 70 for a long time. And when I looked at the page visually, it looked boring because it was just text. There were just posts that were text. There was nothing visual to attract you or anything like that. So I started to post more regularly because at first it was like, well, what shall I post? I don't know what to post. What people are going to be interested in. I'm not really sure. So I started to post the things that I was interested in and the things that I'd learned through teaching, the questions that people ask, and recipes, raw food recipes. But what I always did was to put an image with the post, no matter what it was, a really attractive food image or something that was very visual. And that started to make a difference, and it started to go up slowly at first. And then when it got to 100, it was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And that was relatively quickly to the period that had gone before. And then it started just to climb, and I was posting regularly, and then it went up to 1,000, then 2,000, then 3,000, and it just kept climbing. But I was at that point, you couldn't schedule your posts on Facebook, so I was sitting up till late at night whenever I'd done everything for the day, and maybe for 2 or 3 hours just posting. I'd put lots of posts every day, and people were beginning to communicate with me and sort of saying things like they were looking forward to my posts. They started asking me questions, and it just really grew from there.
Interesting how you had
She's sitting next to me.
Yeah, no. Well, I like to listen to the story, and that's a great story. And what's interesting is how you went from such a dormant period to suddenly really snowballing. Once you'd established that, one, you needed visuals in this, because we all know that Facebook loves visuals, whether that's pictures or videos. They're great. And then suddenly it all starts, once you've got the visuals and then you start posting more regularly, that then it starts snowballing. And the jump from 1,000 to 5,000 was probably hardly noticeable because it probably happened really quickly.
It did happen.
It's that first bit.
Yeah, right up to about 20,000, it happened really quickly. And then Facebook changes things every so often, and it takes me a while to catch up. And then I started scheduling my posts because it had the scheduling feature. I mean, it was there for a while before I even realised it was there, and I think it might have been Ola that told me. But that makes life a lot easier because you can schedule so that you're posting. A lot of my 80% of the fans on my page are in the States, so they're in a different time zone. So I schedule throughout our day and throughout our night, so that when they're at home in the evening in the States, they're still getting posts. And the thing that I've learned more is that it's important to feed your page.
Bit of fun. She didn't mean with raw food.
No. I'm just having visions of her undoing the dish drive and sticking a load of food in there.
So, how frequently did you post when you first started and you didn't get anyone? How often were you doing it?
Maybe once or twice a week.
Once or twice a week. And so, when you started to see the climb, what was the change? How often were you doing it then?
I think I went from posting 6 times to about between 12 and 20 times a day.
Wow, that's a lot. And that's when you noticed the big difference.
Yeah, there was a huge difference. Because what happened was, I think you have to think about the quality of your posts. So you have to know your audience, I think, and what they want. So, you know, I select images. I'm a very visual person. As I said, I used to be a photographer. And you need really strong, attractive images. That I tend to think of it as telling a story. The image should tell a story. You shouldn't have to guess what it is. It should appeal to that person, whatever that person's interest is. So it's got to be visually attractive, not just any old picture will do. And then you can add because then people are more likely to look at the post and read the text that goes with it. They want to find out more. That's what I found. And, you know, I get lots of comments under the post like yum, or people share it with other people, and then that brings people to your page, and that's what you want people to do. You want them to share the post so that it will bring other people, so that their friends will see it and it will bring other people to your page.
Have you noticed a big difference in how frequently things are shared since Facebook recently changed? Because before they'd show all your posts to your whole community, and now they only show it to about 6.
Yeah.
So has that affected how active your page is?
Definitely. I get people sending me messages saying, I haven't seen your posts for a while. You know, I'm glad to see it again. How can I stay in touch? People, you know, I've had quite a few comments, but I'm not quite sure how to negotiate that apart from under the notifications to say get notifications. I'm not sure what else to tell people to do.
If they on the page, if you ask to be notified, you will be, but they have to come back and look at it. So what Facebook do is so it's not just I want you to notify me about a page, because they assume that's the default position when you like a page. That I should talk to the camera, really, shouldn't I? Talk to Anita. Sorry. Imagine I'm looking at you, Anita, but I'm going to look at the camera. Yeah. So what Facebook do, as soon as you like a page, it says there's a notification that says give me notifications. That's your default. So Facebook assume that you haven't just changed that, as opposed to you actively wanted to be notified.
Okay.
And so they won't automatically show you every notification on the page. So if you want to see notifications on the page you like, then you have to go and visit it. So you have to kind of interact with it a bit more frequently. So check it out yourself. And then once you're looking at the page, Facebook will think, oh, okay, you do want to see it because you went there. Yeah, so we'll show you. We'll add you to that.
Yeah.
So what you can say to your fans is, if you don't, I post every day. If you don't see something from me, check the page, because there will be something. It will be that Facebook haven't shown it to you, and then you'll get more of your fans seeing it because more people will be interacting.
Okay.
And then if they share the post,
Facebook
will think, oh, you're a popular page, and because Facebook want to be a popular platform, they will show more of your stuff to people because you're popular.
Okay.
I'll still talk to her.
They make it difficult, Facebook, don't they? They don't make it easy for people doing this stuff.
No. It feels like they're making it harder and harder.
The thing is, there's always other opportunities though. If people are looking to engage with you on a level where they want to contact you, see your stuff every day, why do you not consider maybe taking them to other platforms? So, for instance, you've got your own website, which I presume you update. So getting them to subscribe to newsletters and stuff like that would be quite good, because then they can keep in contact that way as well to know exactly what you're up to.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think you're right with that. It's just that I'm not organised enough. I'm getting there. I have got I think it's 2 other platforms, and plus I think I joined Twitter this year.
Hey.
So I'm just in the process of updating my material so I can drive people to the websites, and people do subscribe. They have subscribed, but I haven't really used Facebook for that. But I will. That is my intention.
Actually, it's quite.
Are you on Pinterest as well? Because if you're a very visual person, you'll love Pinterest.
Yeah, well, lots of people say to me, "Oh, are you on Pinterest?" And I just think, "Oh gosh, it's another one to learn." But maybe I'll get around to it one stage.
For visual people, you absolutely love it. It's great for that stuff, isn't it, Ola?
No, it is. It is. But what I want to say to people is, I like Anita's approach in that she's doing what she can with what she's got. Because at the end of the day, yes, it'd be great for you to be on Pinterest. It'd be great for you to be on Tumblr. Tumblr's another great platform if you're on visual. It's got lots of great visuals. You share it across platforms. And then there's Twitter. You know, you've got LinkedIn. There's Facebook. And that's what people do. They just take everything. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. And they try and be on everything.
Yeah.
But another approach is to be very good at one thing. And even though it's got its limitations, but that's down to Facebook changing the platform as opposed to you not being very good on it.
Yeah.
Be very good on one thing, because you will get the results from that one thing, and then spread out as you build your capacity. And it's you know, for those people who are social media abstinence, the AAs, it's a good way to start. You don't have to be everywhere day one trying to do everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's really good advice, because there is so much out there, and you know, if you're running a business, you're doing so many other things. You can't. I kind of forgave myself a while back and just thought, you know, I'm just going to do what I can manage, and not feel, because there was a point where I felt, you know, because I was getting so much positive feedback via the page, I almost felt compelled to be posting every day and lots and lots and lots of stuff, and I don't do that now. You know, sometimes I think I've had enough of Facebook and I don't post for 2 weeks. And then I start posting again, and you know, and I put really good stuff on there, and the engagement always comes back. So not that I'm taking that for granted, but it works. That's it. That works for me, and it's got to work for me first.
But one of the good things about social media is that it is sustainable. So like it's like having a friendship. If you don't speak to your friends. So Kevin didn't wish me happy birthday this week. It was my birthday on Wednesday, and Kevin didn't wish me happy birthday. But it hasn't stopped me speaking to Kevin. We're still great friends. I'm still
reminding
him, loving him all the same, because we've got a friendship, and social media is like that. If you build up your friendship, you're having a couple of off days. He's cut me off. Have I gone, Kevin? I've stopped.
No, you're still there.
Okay, my picture's gone. I'm back.
Yeah,
if you drop the momentum for a little bit, people don't leave you because you've built that friendship, and they just think, oh, I'll wait till you're back. Whereas with advertising, as soon as you turn advertising off, your audience is gone because they're not seeing your stuff. So I think you're a great advert for that. Spend the time, invest the time in it, because it brings dividends, and you can start doing other things in your business because you've got a bit more time. People are more forgiving of you if you're not there every day. So,
and I think the thing that I've learned is, I mean, I had one really fantastic situation that shows how Facebook works. I mean, I teach raw food classes, so people come and I demonstrate how to make raw food. And a woman came to one of my classes, and the way that she found out about the class was that her sister in the States alerted her to my course and told her, and she lives here, and that's how she found out about it, which I thought was amazing. I just thought, you know, it kind of like went round the globe and came back again. And that was just putting up a notice. That wasn't really advertising. You know, it didn't cost me anything except time. And that, I just think that was so beautiful example of that network really working for you. I mean, I often get people kind of like writing to me from the States and saying, are you going to put your classes on video? Are you going to put them up on YouTube and stuff like that? That's one of the things I haven't got around to yet. But, you know, people are asking, and so my audience is letting me know what they want.
Excellent. That's really, really good. So, what was I going to say? So you post every day. You post lots of visuals. Oh, talking to the wrong person again. Posting regularly, lots of visuals. The information you accommodate for your audience across different time zones. So that's something else that you can do. So see where your audience is coming from. things that they're going. You want to know your audience is the other thing. What they want, what kind of things they engage with. So when they engage with a certain type of post, do you post more of that?
No, I tend to post intuitively.
Oh, okay.
I've tried lots of different approaches to, I just try different things. Like, one day I might post only about one fruit, another day about one vegetable, but from lots of different perspectives. Another day I might just do all sweets, or I might do all juices, or I might do, so I change it, I really change it up so that people, and I put lots of health related information on there so that people can find out what the nutrients are, how they help your body, that kind of thing, and people really want to know that information. It's one thing to eat the food, but it's another thing to know what it's doing for you, or if you've got a condition, how it can help. So I try to kind of like make it as broad as that, and it just depends on where I am at any given time, but I'm always putting different information up there.
So what I'm hearing from you is that, like, even though you do it intuitively, within that intuition there's a theme, and you post with a theme, so you're planning out what you're going to post based on the theme. So it's not. So what Anita's not saying is I just sit there and randomly put stuff up. She has planned it out, but she allows her intuition and I suppose that's based on what people have been liking to determine what your theme is going to be for that day or for that week. And then following a theme seems to kind of grab people's attention because they're getting more of the same stuff. And it's like reading round a subject in school. Remember when you were in school and they used to give you a little bit of information? Say, go home and read round the subject. You go, so, but giving them additional nutritional information is they're reading around more facts that what people want. So that's like incredible value. So not only do we get the recipe, I get a good visual, but I'm getting something that I wouldn't have got from the other people out there who are just posting pictures of food. I'm getting nutritional information. I'm getting information about how it can help me physically, which to me sounds like you got there based on observation, and the feedback you've got from your audience has actually created the strategy which we teach people. Look at that, she learned it all by herself, and we've just done ourselves out of a job. But basically, how long did it take you to come up with this wisdom?
Can you hear?
Yeah, I thought I was asking the question, but you were going to ask the question, so she stopped.
No, I was just going to ask Anita what the plans are for going forward, because you said you got up to your 35,000 and you sort of hit a bit of a roadblock on that one because of the reach that you're getting.
Yeah.
What's the plans at the moment for where you're going to go with this? Are you looking to still grow it? And how do you think that might happen?
Well, I think as I continue to post, it will grow. That just seems to happen. Not as fast as it was, but it is still growing. But my intention is to get that audience to subscribe to via my other platforms, and keep in touch with them that way. I'm developing some products, and Facebook will be a tool that I use to kind of help alert people. So it's good for that. And when I do classes and courses in the future, it's one way of letting people know.
Cool.
What are you going to say?
No, I was waiting. Now, what I was asking Anita was, how long did it take you to intuitively work out how to use Facebook? So from when you started, you said it was about 8 years ago?
No. That was when I started with the raw food. Maybe about 5 years, I think.
So there you go. So we ain't out of a job. If you haven't got 5 years
Seriously, it took you 5 years to learn to use Facebook?
No, she didn't say that.
No. That's when I started using Facebook, about 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I think my mum died 2 years ago, so actually it was something that it was something. My mum died, and I was really distressed. When you're in grief, it's kind of, I couldn't sleep at night and stuff, and so that was what happened. Like 2 years ago, I just stayed up all night feeding Facebook, and that made a huge turnaround on the page. It wasn't It wasn't a plan. It was. I didn't know that was going to happen, but it was kind of like one of the ways I could express some level of creativity at that time, because I was so upset, generally speaking, and I couldn't sleep. So I might as well just use the time some way, and that's what I did. And that's just over 2 years ago. So it's taken 2 years to get to 35,000.
Organically, it's not bad. In fact, that's brilliant, really. I don't mean it's not bad, but because 35,000 followers who actually always engage with you over 2 years is brilliant, because you see people who've got 100,000 followers and they're all Iranians or 15-year-olds in Pakistan who've just been paid to like a page and are never going to buy anything from you, but your audience engage with you. And so all I was saying was, yes, you can spend, it's like anything. You can spend time learning it yourself, but if you want to learn from people who've already done it, head to come and listen to the show, because Anita's told you what she's done, so you don't have to spend the 2 years that she did. But, you can still speak to people like myself, like Kevin and Sarah, who also pulled together all that information about the shortcuts based on everybody else's experience. You don't have to relive it yourself. If we all had to eat red berries to determine they were poison, there'd be no human race. so we learn from experience of others. That's the point I was making. Anyway, Kevin, guess what?
Go on.
It's 2:27 and 8 seconds. So if we round the show up to now, this will be the first time ever that we finished on time.
That's because you're tired and you've got no energy, isn't it, Ola?
No. Do you know what it is?
Okay.
Okay. Confession time. My son's going to university tomorrow, and I'm packing. 4 weeks ago, I said to them, pack. Sort your stuff out and pack. And they spent 4 weeks just destroying the house. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but they weren't packing and they weren't sorting. So yesterday I looked and I thought, I'm going to have to do this myself. I'm not going to go. And so we're leaving at 5 a.m. tomorrow. It's almost 3 o'clock. We've got and I've got to sleep. So I can drive up to Liverpool. So yeah, I am tired. I do need to go. Sorry about that. It's now 28 minutes and 10 seconds. It's been really great speaking with you today. Anita, you've been an amazing guest. We've really loved talking about your Facebook journey. Kevin, thanks for the intuitive questions.
No worries.
Here again next week at the same time with the prettier version of the Arrow family, Sarah.
Oh, you're in trouble next week. She's had 3 weeks off.
She's had 3 weeks off. Tell her no products.
Yeah, right. Like that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, one of the products I did want to see, we're going to go over again. He's drawn me into conversation. Sarah's running a 30-day blogging challenge. So if you're listening to this, hop over to Saki Media and sign up for Sarah and Kevin's 30-day blogging challenge, because I think it's going to be great if you did it. So I'm promoting Sarah. Sarah, where's the brown envelope? And sign up, because I think you'll get a lot of really good tips and a gentle introduction to social media through blogging. So if you really are still sitting there with your abstinence, here's a way that you can get involved without too much pressure. It's not too much pressure, is it, Kevin?
There is no pressure at all.
There you go. No pressure. But it will really get some experience. So you can sign up as well. 30-day blogging challenge. So you can go over to Saki Media. That's SARKE, Saki, METIA.com, which is under Kevin's name, or it should be. Is your handle under your name, Kevin?
I don't know. I can't see it. It's back to front and it's really small.
It's Kevin. You didn't put your web address up. Sarah, Kevin didn't put the web address up under his name. Anyway, we'll be under the video. So we'll see you next week. We'll put the details of the web challenge up. Not web challenge, the blogging challenge up. Put Anita's details up under the video. See you next week. Bye. Stopping the broadcast. We're not going to be live anymore. See ya.